Okay, we're going to write linear functions different ways using the graph of a line, 2 points on a line, and a table of values. Now the graph of a line, we've already been able to do that, so that's going to be kind of a review. The 2 points on a line, we have not written the equation from that. We have found a slope, but that has been it. And then the table of values. So the first one we're going to start is a graph of a line. So let's make kind of a little, oops, need a pen. Let's make a graph, hopefully yours looks a little better than mine, with 2 points. One here, we're going to call that 2, 2. And the other one, we're going to go at 0, about what, -2. So this one's at 0, -2. Alright, we're going to make a line. This is not easy. So we've got a line. And we know that in a graph, we'll be able to find the slope and the y-intercept, and we'll be able to find our equation. So our equation, we're going to remind ourselves, is y equals mx plus b, with the m being the slope and the b the y-intercept. Okay? Remember that your slope is your rise over your run. Okay? So I am going to, on my graph, find my y-intercept and count my rise over my run. Okay? So when you have a graph of a line, in order to write an equation, the first thing you want to do is, easiest is, find the y-intercept. And I'll abbreviate intercept on the graph. Okay? So in this graph here, my y-intercept is at 0, -2. So b in my equation is just going to be -2. Step 2 on here, I'm going to count the rise over the run. Okay, so that would be where you count up and over. So on this one, to go from -2, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 2, and this one would go over 1, 2 to 2. So it would be 4 over 2. So my m is 4 over 2, and that equals 2. So from this, I can fill in my m and my b. M here is 2. My b here is -2. How else could I write that if it has a plus and negative? I could also write that as 2x minus 2. Okay? So you can write that one or that way. Alright? I would take either one of those. That's the first one. The second one is 2 points on a line. So if there's 2 points on a line, step 1 is going to be to use the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? So we've done that before. That part is going to be review. Step 2, we're going to use either point, won't matter which one, use either point to plug in to equation and find b. Okay? Alright, so over here we are going to have 2 points. Let's say the 2 points are -2, 5, and you'll be given both points. You're not going to have to find them. They'll just be given points just like this, as 2 ordered pairs. And we're going to do the subtracting. You know, I like to do the first one first. So 5 minus, the other y is 1, over -2 minus, the other x is 2. So that becomes, 5 minus 1 is 4, and 2 plus negative 2, because I changed that to adding the opposite, is negative 4. So my slope is negative 1. Okay? That is my m. Okay, this is my m. Now I have an m, and if I take either one of these points, I have an m and a b. Now looking at these 2 points, it doesn't matter which one you pick, but I tend to use the one that looks a little more user-friendly, so I will pick ones that don't have negatives. It won't matter, you'll get the same answer no matter which one you use. So over here, now that you have your m, it's negative 1, you're going to pick your point, and I'm going to use 2, 1, solely because there's no negatives in it. And I'm going to plug that everything I can plug in into this equation, and I've got to solve for b. So over here, my y is 1, my m is negative 1, times an x of 2 plus b. Now I have to solve this equation. So I've got negative 1 times 2. I'm going to write it over here because I'm going to run out of room otherwise. I've got 1 equals negative 2 plus b. I've got to add 2 to both sides. And I've got 3 equals b. So now I have an m, and I have a b. And once I have an m and a b, I can fill in those 2 spots. The m and the b in the linear equation is negative 1 plus 3. Now the other way you can write that is without the negative 1, because you just want it in algebra. When there's 1s, you don't put anything, so negative x plus 3. I won't mark it wrong for that, but this is more big kid algebra. Okay? Alright, last one, table of values. I have a little extra space here because I might need it. So you're going to be given a table of values. Let's see if we can do this here. An x and a y. Okay, letters aren't too bad, but straight lines, not good. So make your table. The first point in the table is negative 5, 6. And then we've got can't read my own writing. 5, negative 2, I think it is. 10, negative 6. And 0, 10. Okay? So step 1, it's going to be similar to what you're doing over here. You're going to pick 2 points to find, something's going on with this, to find m. Okay? So I'm going to pick this one and this one. Okay, so my 2 points are negative 5, 6 and 5, negative 2. So I'm going to find my m. I'm going to subtract my y's. So I've got 6 minus negative 2 over, top one is first, negative 5 minus 5. So I change that to plus negative, that to add the opposite as well. So now I've got 8 over negative 10, which equals negative 4/5. Doesn't matter if the negative's on the top or the bottom, or if it's out in the middle. And then once that, I will find the b by plugging in the points like I did up here, or look in this graph, or this table, sorry, in this table. Okay, if you have a 0 for x, use that for b, because anytime x is 0, that's your y-intercept. So my b would equal 10. Now, step 2 could be just like this one where you plug in m and an xy to find b. You can do that if there's no 0 on the table. Obviously, if there's a 0 on the table, that's the fastest way to get your b. But I want you to see that you're going to end up with the exact same thing. So in this case, my m is -4/5, and I am going to pick, let's do the -5, 6. So 6 is my y, -4/5 is my m, times -5 is my x, plus b. I will simplify this. Two negatives make a positive. These two would cancel out because you put a 1 underneath. So now I got 6 equals something's not working. I must have written the table wrong. Those are both negatives because I have a -5, 6 in the x. Let's see. So we've got -4, no, +4, plus b. We would -4 on each side, and you would get 2 equals b. Okay, so I have a mistake here. So this must have to be 2. My bad. So my b would be 2. Unless I made another mistake, and if I did, then you need to point it out. So I've got y equals an m of -4/5 x plus 2. That's what I get for making up numbers in a table on the fly. Okay? That's the rules. So those are all in words. On the other side, we're going to just practice actually doing the equations. So there'll be a lot of examples. If you didn't quite understand the plugging in, we're going to do 2 more of those, and then there'll be some that are a little easier. Okay, so you should watch Study Guide 8-7 next for the examples.